Hi everyone, welcome to MYP Biology. Today our topic is going to be about balance. Now let's get started. Here we've got the question, what is balance? Do you really know what is balance? So, there's a thing that balance is a state where things are of equal weight or force. So, balance is a device used for weighing consisting of a beam that is free to move on a central pivot and a scale pan each end. The beam becomes level when equal weights are placed on the two parts, and from this observation, the concept of balance is developed. And balances have been used for thousands of years. Even the expanding human population put a strain on the environmental balance. So, the concept of balance is useful in many contexts in biology. So, how balance is related to biology is this: balance allows complex systems to continue to function. If a balance is lost, the entire systems are at risk. So in this chapter, we will focus on two types of balance: the homeostasis, which is regulation of the internal environment of an organism, and stability within the ecosystem, which results from the relationship between a different organisms. So in both cases, balance allows complex systems to continue to function, and if this balance is lost, the entire systems are going to be at risk. So ecosystem and internal body systems are complex, dynamic, and open. And natural ecosystems usually remain in balance, but they can also be disrupted by natural events or by human actions. So, today we're going to focus on the human body and the homeostasis within the human body. So first, we're looking at the metabolism, glucose concentration in blood. Whenever you go for the usual annual checkup, there's always a glucose concentration in blood, and whenever doctors are looking at your test results, blood test results, they're always checking your glucose concentration. So what is glucose concentration in blood and what it does? So, in medicine, glucose concentration in the blood is more often referred to as blood sugar. So, whenever you're working so much and you're not eating anything, you're in a rigorous action, so your blood sugar may decrease, and then you feel dizzy and you need to eat something. In a healthy adult, the blood sugar levels is usually expected to range from 3.6 mol to 5.8. The glucose concentration in blood does tend to rise after a meal has been ingested, but typically blood glucose concentration is at its lowest first thing in the morning when a person gets up and has not yet eaten breakfast, and this is the time when you should go and check your blood sugar level. The concentration of glucose in the blood is regulated by the action of the hormones insulin and glucagon, which is produced by the pancreas. So the liver acts as the body's glucose reservoir. That how much you're eating, not all. Like whenever you're eating too much, your blood sugar is rising in the body, but in order to avoid too higher glucose concentration in blood, some of the glucose becomes actually the glycagon, which livers turns this, which with the help of the insulin, the glucose concentration in blood decrease, and the additional extra glucose become a glycogen, and which is actually stored in the liver. So when the blood glucose concentration gets too low, liver cells can release glucose into the blood one more time. Now look how this happens. So no change in blood glucose. We're starting from here. There's no change in the blood glucose. So blood glucose concentration at a set point here. Here, look at this. Now let's get started. So there's a decrease in blood glucose. What happens? Change detected by cells in the pancreas. Pancreas releases less insulin and more glucagon into the blood. Our liver cells release more glucose into the blood, which was actually stored before. And there's an increase in blood glucose, so blood glucose concentration at set point. It can be there is like maybe you have eaten a lot of milk and chocolate or things, and there is an increase in blood glucose in your body. So change detected by cells in pancreas. Pancreas releases more insulin and less glucagon into the blood. Liver cells remove more glucose from the blood and store it. Then there is a decrease in blood glucose, so blood glucose concentration at set point once more. Pancreas and livers are playing very important role in glucose concentration in blood. So remember that if there's too much glucose concentration in blood, your cells actually will go on the plasmolysis process, which your cells can shrink with the higher glucose concentration. And this is why we have to avoid too much glucose concentration in our blood. Now, diabetes, you know about this disease, diabetes. Diabetes is a disease in which blood glucose levels are above normal, and most of the food we eat is turned into glucose or sugar for our bodies to use for energy. But in diabetic people, the pancreas makes a hormone called insulin to help glucose to get into the cells of body may not work or may not answer it. So when you have diabetes, your body either doesn't make enough insulin or can't use its own insulin as well as it should. And this causes sugar to build up in your blood. And remember that diabetes is a very dangerous and very let's say is a very serious disease. Now look at this, we have got two type of diabetes. Now we're going to look at the first type of diabetes. So look at there, some people have type 1 diabetes, and this means their pancreas doesn't produce the insulin. Some symptoms of diabetes, we can have the frequent urination, blurry vision, increased hunger, extreme fatigue, and excessive thirsty. When you're feeling this very thirsty all the time, you go to toilet all the time, you have got the blurry vision and increased hunger, and you are losing weight, that means that you have these symptoms of the diabetes, and you should definitely go and check your glucose concentration in blood. And type 2 diabetes, what is that? In here, when your body cannot produce enough insulin, or when the insulin that is produced doesn't work properly. In type 2 diabetes, like that, pancreas produce the insulin, but these insulins are not actually identified and detected by your cells, and by this way these cells are not able to decrease the liver cells are not able to detect the insulin, and they're not able to store the excess glucose concentration. So now look at this video.
Diabetes mellitus is a metabolic disorder caused by the inability of the pancreas to produce enough insulin for the body, or when the body fails to use insulin properly. Insulin is the hormone responsible for regulating the body's blood sugar level. If insulin is insufficient or is not used effectively, blood sugar increases. This condition is called hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia commonly occurs with uncontrolled diabetes and can lead to damage to the eyes, kidneys, nerves, and blood vessels. An acute, severe disruption of the blood sugar level can be fatal. The types of diabetes are type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and gestational diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is also known as insulin-dependent or childhood onset diabetes. It is a condition wherein there is inadequate insulin produced in the body. Type 2 diabetes, on the other hand, is also called non-insulin dependent or adult onset diabetes. This type of diabetes is brought by the body's failure to use insulin effectively. Gestational diabetes is characterized by hyperglycemia that occurred initially during pregnancy. The cause of type 1 diabetes can be abnormal genes in the body, and there is no available information about prevention. Type 2 diabetes, on the other hand, is the product of an unhealthy lifestyle and is related to excessive body weight, unhealthy food selection, and prolonged inactivity. The cause of gestational diabetes is linked to the effect of fluctuating hormones of pregnancy on the body. Symptoms of diabetes can be frequent and excessive urination, extreme feeling of thirst, weight loss, vision changes, itching, and fatigue. Treatment of type 1 diabetes requires administration of insulin on a daily basis. Type 2 diabetes and gestational diabetes treatment involves proper diet, exercise, oral medication, and insulin in some cases. In both types of diabetes, non-smoking is essential to prevent damage due to diabetes. Type 2 diabetes can be prevented through living a healthy lifestyle that includes attaining and sustaining a healthy body weight, being physically fit and active, and eating a well-balanced and healthy meal. Your general practitioner can give you more information about the disorder and its possible treatments.
Okay, guys, so here we have got the database questions on page 170 on our books, and we're gonna look at this diabetes cases in different countries and diabetes cases on white and black people, Asian people, so in different kind of races. So that's gonna be your homework. Right now, here we've got the glossary parts that you may not know some words. So here are the definitions of these words that you need to remember. Right? And we've got the review part. Try to answer these questions when you are recapping the slides. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.